welcome to another episode of Life Changers, and this is Mike. I'd just like to say to everybody, I love you guys. You guys are number one. And I'm not drunk, so... So let's set the scene, everybody. So, you know how I always talk about how, life is what you make it, and, what you choose and should decide how you should live your life and all that stuff, right? Yeah. And you can choose puppies and rainbows, and you can choose doom and gloom, and you can choose whatever reality you decide. You can choose to, I would say, be rich, be poor. I would say choose to work your ass off at a meaningless job, stuff like that. I'm just being straight with you. Right now, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning on August 1st. Yes. August 1st, 1 o'clock in the morning. And you want to know how I got here? How I'm still in my studio, in my office, in my warehouses? Well, let's talk about it. See, it all comes down to decisions in life, right? And you know how I would say you know things before they happen, or you just feel things. Yeah, let's just go with the feeling things. So check it out, everybody. So yesterday, and I decided to stay late at work because there's a new shipping company that delivers for Amazon. And as you know, we are one of my main businesses, I guess, is, we receive packages and ship them all across Canada and to like the Arctic and hard to reach places because, if Walmart was to deliver there, sometimes they charge $250 to send one box of diapers to these areas because, it goes by plane and all this stuff, right? So I built a network and using all these different companies, leveraging all the companies that if we do high volume, we would ship through them, and as long as they give us better prices and so on and so forth, right? So as long as everybody knows roughly that's one of my main businesses. And, that business was the one I talk about how the universe showed me and my higher self showed me how to do things. And anyways, so I was working late because this new company that ships for Amazon are very stupid. I think there might be a spider in my headset here. Let me check. No. Okay, I'm going crazy. I'm sorry. I found a spider web on my microphone today going from the roof and from the sound dampening panels. So I was just wondering if maybe there was a spider in the headset because it hangs on my microphone when I'm not using it. Anyways, I digress. So then I was like, hey, I should get water for the warehouse. It's really hot, big heat wave right now. It's really hot and humid and whatnot, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're running out of water. So I took all the jugs, took my truck and went to get the water. And then it broke down. It wouldn't start. So I was like, oh, that sucks. Maybe there's a misconnection with the battery or something like that, right? And then I called the guy I know, and he came and helped out, and we got it started. And then I got back to the warehouse and stopped working. And I was like, oh, crap. So it's probably the alternator, right? Anyway, so call my wife, brings me home. And then she drops me off here in the morning, and she's going with some friends and the kids camping, and I've been really busy at the office, and I'm like, well, sorry, I can't come because we just went on a week-long camping trip in Michigan. So I was like, yeah, I got to go to the office and catch up and whatnot, right? So anyways, I come back this morning. I'm like, yeah, it's a simple thing. Need a new alternator. So I called, as we work with distributors. So I called the company, and they brought me an alternator within the hour. And then I called the guys like, hey, we talked yesterday. He said you're going to come this morning and help. And he's like, well, I'm going to be back later this evening. So against better judgment, the universe is like, you know what? You could do it. Change the alternator. And I got an F-250 diesel 05. And the alternator's right there on top of the engine. It's just three bolts. Take it off. Disconnect the batteries, of course, and don't shock yourself. And, take it all off and put it all back together. Like, it wouldn't really take that long. But I was just like, oh, no, I'll wait for the guy. And about 6 o'clock rolls by, and he's still no answer. So I was like, well, he's like, oh, can you drive the truck to my shop or whatever? I'm like, dude, it doesn't drive. Anyways, so I ignored the universe, which I shouldn't have, because if I was like, yeah, I'll just give it a shot, be a man, right? As my older brother would say, just do it, stop depending on people, whatever, right? And, so I ended up getting my landlord, actually, that I rent these warehouses from. He's around. I'm like, hey, can I borrow some tools? So he helped me out. We took it apart, put it back together. 20 minutes. Didn't take long at all. And to find out that it was a dud alternator. But now it's, 6:30 in the evening. So all these stores are closed. I checked with Canadian Tire. They don't have it in stock, of course. So if I did listen to the universe, I would have found that out sooner, would have gotten a replacement, and so on and so forth. So instead, I'm going the hard route. I'm going to learn. So I called some friends. They picked me up. We went and got some ice cream, and I got supper. They took me to my house because I got some cats. So I fed them, and I had to do some other things. And then they brought me back here. So now I'm going to stay here all night. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well just do some podcasts, right? And talk about what I've learned. So what I've learned is, when you get that gut feeling and you just know, like, just do it. You should just do it because you're helping yourself. Because when we were working on my truck hood doesn't stay up by itself because the shocks that hold it up usually are not working. I need to get new ones. So I was going to buy some new ones. But anyways, so we put this metal pole to hold up the hood. And I just felt like I should hold it because he might knock it while he's working on the alternator. It's close. And I don't want this falling on his head and hurting him, right? And for a split second, I'm like, oh, no, I trust the pole, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold it. And sure enough, I put my hand up. It slipped. I grabbed the hood. And I'm like, right? So I'm preventing. So if I listen to the small voice or the universe or your gut or whatever you want to call it, I would not be here recording right now. But who knows? Maybe this is going to be the one podcast that gets me, I don't know, viral or whatever. But what you got to understand is I'm not depending on anybody to make me viral or make me, whatever. You got to depend on yourself and trust in the universal flow. So I've been going about it wrong with how I've been pushing for the growth of my business or for the growth of this podcast and, whatnot, is I just got to make these podcasts, stop slacking off, just do it, and stop going, I don't know what to talk about anymore. People must be getting bored of me, blah, 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 right? I need to find more people to bring in and talk to them and so on, to make it interesting for people. But I decided, why the hell not just start recording at almost 1 a.m? And you got to understand, I'm in we're getting quotes, but I want to put air conditioning in the 2 warehouses I'm renting. But, I got to convince the landlord to be like, hey, if I'm putting in all these air conditionings, that when I leave, you get to keep them. Or if I leave, I'm taking them with me. I'll pay whatever to get them out of here if you're not going to, pay for them in the long run. So if I'm here for another X amount of years, you take X amount off my rent because I'm just increasing the value of this place and putting in $20,000 worth of AC. So I don't think I should pay for it. But who knows? Maybe I should. Maybe I'm just being whatever. But anyways, I'm digressing. It's hot as hell in here, okay? And I have a fan I should turn on, but I don't want it to ruin the audio. I don't want you to hear while I'm talking. It'll be like so windy. I'm in a wind tunnel here. But what I want to get to is I had 1 or 2 decisions to make. Make it all about me, poor me, and be a victim. I know most people would. Or I could just be like, there's an opportunity here. Get some work done. I can do some podcasts. I can, meditate in peace because I'm not, I got time. Start reaching to my higher self and communicating to my higher self and trying to figure that stuff out and be a better communicator and stuff, right? So I can make it a missed opportunity. I can make it all about poor me, I'm a victim. But no, I decided to Kuna Matata because that's my motto. So I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to, at first I enjoyed a movie. And then I decided to record a podcast. And I'm going to turn the fan back on after the podcast. And I'm going to sit here and just be. And see what happens. See where life goes. But at this point, here's where we are. I've been... poor me. I've been working on all these contracts, these pretty decent sized contracts with all these different customers. And, none of them are, coming to me. Maybe they're finding other people or blah, blah, blah. But you know what? One thing I realize is I love what I do. And I got to stop being poor me. And just let my business do its thing and stop trying to take control of it. Because back when I talked about this business, when it came to me and, when I was driving and coming back from a contract way up north and it's a 24-hour drive, just point A to point B. And I'm driving thinking, and when it came to me, and you could hear in my podcast how I manifested my business is... I might sound crazy for saying this, but I come to realize that, it is true. I do run my world. I run this world. And I'm not saying that like I own and run everybody who's listening. But you got to understand. You got to take ownership. You remember in the last podcast, which I have not posted yet, but I'll be posting it hopefully before this one, how I talked about you got to take ownership for your life. You got to take ownership for everything. And just step up and take control and decide what you want. Stop being a victim or stop saying, the government can do whatever it wants, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Fuck it. You have more power, more control, that you can manifest riches. You can manifest anything you want. There's nothing nobody can do about it. When you realize you run your world, or you're the god of your world. And I know some people are like, he's saying he's God. No, I'm not saying I'm God. But if you think about it, right, you can think about it like a movie, or think about this world as a game, because it really is. Or think about it as, yes, I am the main player. I am the main actor in this movie, or I'm the main character in this game, or I am my God, like the God of my reality. Because you are the gatekeeper to choosing what you believe, what you don't believe. You choose everything. You choose to be a victim. You choose not to be a victim. You can choose to get up in the morning and do your basic routine, or like I've been talking, you could be running your auto program, because we're all programmed to run our auto program. Even dead scrolling is an auto program that we have been running, that if you want to say the elites or the government or whoever's trying to make us run, but you are running your auto program. Or you can break your auto program and say, no, I'm taking control, right, of the matrix. I'm the one, right? And take control of what you want and stop trying to control. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to take control of what you want and just give up control to the universe and understand that, yes, the world does, evolve around you, but you also got to consider that everybody else in this world that is not an NPC. And when I say NPC, I'm not meaning like, you're pointless. But there's people that are running their auto program that, I would say turns them into an NPC. The people that are dead scrolling, the people that only live for clicks and they'll do anything for clicks or whatever, right? To be Instagram famous or to be TikTok or YouTube famous, right? There's people that'll do anything, including lie and bullshit and all that stuff, to run their auto program to be what they want to be. Good for them. I'm not saying, but I am judging because some people are just crazy, putting misinformation out there. But anyways, all I'm saying is you can open your eyes, realize that this world is for you to have amazing experiences, that this world is for you to manifest your riches, your true love, your whatever you want. Everybody deserves, okay? I'm telling you, everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody deserves to be loved. Everybody deserves to be rich. But do you choose it? Oh, yeah, Mike, of course I will choose to be rich and be loved. Everybody would, right? Then what are you doing about it? Are you chasing? Because when you're chasing, things are running away from you. So are you chasing? Are you letting things run farther away from you? Or are you going to figure out the energy of money, of love, of compassion? So today I was talking to one of my employees. We're having just, open conversation. I normally don't talk like this or, show my crazy to my employees or whatever. But we're just talking. And, I hear noises. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, we were just talking and whatnot and just having a good conversation. And it's like, with all the information in the world, you have to sift through it and classify it. And this is the conclusion we came, like she was telling me, is that she takes all this information that she receives, she classifies it as, 100%, like, I know this is real, to I'm not sure, all the way down to, no, this is just crazy, right? BS. And that's how she lives her reality. And like, she would like to know how everything works, like to know the truth about everything. Wouldn't we all? Like, I would love to know the truth about everything. But, meh. Because all that matters is you and your reality. And I was explaining to her, like, in the end, I understand that nobody really cares about me, in the sense, we always think, oh, what are those people talking? Are they talking about me? Do they think my outfit looks stupid? Or did I just say something stupid and they're making fun of me? Who cares? Nobody really cares. And I'm not meaning it in a bad or satanic way, like nobody cares about you, right? No, it's not that nobody cares, right? But in reality, yeah. When I see people posting all these, I'm a victim, poor me, look at my poor life. I'm sorry to say, like, everybody in this damn world has a story, of being a victim, or have a story of this, or have a story of that, right? But if that's going to be who you are, and you're stuck in that mentality, and that's all you can focus on, is like, oh, look what happened to me, I'm a part of it. Everything bad happens to me. Oh, my. So if that's the energy you're putting in the universe, then that's what you're going to get. So, yeah, once a victim, always a victim, right? Are you going to break it and stop being a victim and take responsibility? Or is that going to be who you are? I'm so-and-so. I'm a victim because this or that or whatever. But I'm sorry to say, you're not special. Everybody has a story to tell where something crazy has happened to them. But it's either they, tell the whole world, this is what it is, this is what I'm about, or are they going to do their own thing and just be like, whatever, it's a learning experience. I have this experience, I'm moving on. Right? I'm sorry, but everybody has, that's the story, right? Oh, everybody has a story to tell, everybody has, so, boo-hoo. When people are going, oh, sad face, oh, chin up, you're doing amazing on Facebook. Nobody gives a shit about you. I'm sorry to say. So stop. If you don't like it, do something about it. Stop bringing that into your life and change. And I know I probably sound like a total douchebag or an asshole or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you have a decision to make. Whoever's hearing this, and if you're like, well, this guy's just an asshole, and he's telling me, all this bad stuff that's happening to me is because I choose it. Yeah. because that is the reality you choose to live in. That kind of makes you happy, like, well, I need that little bit of drama. I need that, this. So I have another story to tell somebody, right? But when you're telling that story to people and their eyes glaze over, because this is the 100th victim, poor you. Oh, somebody stole my parking spot. Or this guy was totally rude to me. Or this person was totally rude. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's all you're attracting, because that's what's the energy you are putting out there. That's all I want people to understand, is the energy you put out is the energy that's going to match, right? Treat people the way you want to be treated. If, what goes around comes around, right? You guys could all agree with that it's true, that people like karma, right? But what you say and what you believe and what you're putting out there in the world is what you're going to get, because that is the energy, and the energy is attracted to it. So if it's negative, you're going to have negative experiences. And I know, okay, that it's hard to break the habit of being yourself, being the program that you've been running on autopilot for all these years. And I know it's hard. I don't have all the answers. I'm still trying to deprogram myself. But there's glimpses of hope when I get to those points where I'm like, yes, I am not running this autopilot. I am putting this energy out there, and everything is just amazing. I could see the future and see all this stuff. Because what you believe to be true, 1,000%, is true to you. It might not be 100% true in the grand scheme of things. When I had this conversation with my dad where I'm like, everybody believes that they're right, that their reality and their truth is their right, and their truth and their right, and everybody else is wrong if they don't want to listen to them, right? He's like, no, but there's right and wrong, right? And it doesn't matter what people believe, they're still right and wrong. I'm not debating that. But what I'm saying is if the person that stole your parking spot believes that you were trying to steal it from them, then you're both the victims. You're both right. You both are justified. If you both pull up around the same time, but you thought you were there first, or he thought he was there first, or whatever, and you're both, this person's trying to steal my spot, right? Like, fuck. Get over yourself. Can't we be kind? Can't we love one another? Can't we just be like, hey, I know, you go ahead. I'll lap around. Why are people, especially, I'm sorry about this, but I was just watching on TikTok and YouTube, and how all these people are like, I was waiting for the spot and somebody stole my spot. Instant karma. So I pulled my car up front. I had tow chains and I towed them out and took the spot. Like, for fuck's sake, people. When I go to a store or a mall, I park all the way in the nosebleed sections because I'm not wasting my time lapping. I've been waiting 20 minutes for this spot near the door. Just fucking get out and walk. Because right now, okay, all the autopilot or the NPCs or the programming that we are programmed right now, okay, and that's been embedded in our skulls, in our thick skulls, is me, right? Who cares about anybody else? Everybody's out to get me, right? Fuck everybody else. Everybody's trying to take from me. Everybody's trying to steal my ideas. Everybody would rob me if they could, blah, blah, blah. No one's kind anymore. Everybody hates everybody. Then when you put that energy out, you're looking at YouTube and Facebook, and all you see is negativity and people just like, oh, everybody's robbing people and all these countries, and everybody's doing this and everybody's doing that, and then that's all you see, right? And then you start focusing and watching like all these TV shows about, real life murder mysteries, and you just see the whole world as doom and gloom and all blah, blah, right? And then that's what you see, and that's what you're blinded to. Well, Mike, you're probably blinded to puppies and rainbows and love. You're blinded from the truth, the reality that everybody's assholes. No. Because when I'm kind to people, and I smile and open the door for them, you go ahead, right? Or when I say, good day, ma'am, good day, sir. have a great time. Or when I'm at the casino and I'm like, hey, are you winning? People are all confused. And then I'm like, I hope you win. I hope you're doing great. Because most people will be like, fuck you, I'm going to win. But I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to be loved. I want everybody to know that, hey, we can break the programming that we're being shoved down our throat. It's up to you. It starts with you. People say, oh, there's nothing I could do. The world is a horrible place, blah, blah. I'm sorry to say, it takes one day at a time, and it starts with you. Are you going to be the person that ruins your day and that just goes around ruining everybody's day because you wake up and then go, people are going to, I'm going to get stuck in traffic. Somebody's going to cut me off. Someone's going to flip the bird to me. Someone's going to steal my parking spot. Someone's going to do this, do that, and be a victim. Or you're just going to wake up and be like, I'm going to have an amazing time. Everything I want today is going to happen. So let's work on that, everybody. Okay? If you're just listening to this first thing in the morning or after lunch or in the evening, just tell yourself, hey, every morning when you wake up, just be like, I'm going to have an amazing day today. Everything that I want and that I need to happen for me to have an amazing day will happen. And all those around me will feel my amazing energy and have an amazing, great day as well. Because are you one of those people that, hey, when I walk into this restaurant, it might be empty and I ask the waitress or waiter, hey, has it been busy today? Oh no, it's been dead all day. And then you're like, well, don't worry, it's going to be busy because I just attract people. And the whole restaurant starts getting busy. And they're like, wow, this is crazy. This is getting busy. Or the store's getting busy. And you're like, it's because I'm here, right? Are you one of those people? Because it's true. People are attracted to good energy. So if you're one of those people that just attract people, well, are you special? Of course you are. Are you different? Of course you are. But you got to realize, like, oh, snap. Right? All this amazing stuff's happening because I choose for it to happen. And I attract good people. And I'm attracting wealth. And when you realize that you could attract whatever you want, then you tell yourself every day, I am worth it. I'm going to have an amazing day today. Everything that I want is going to come and happen. You know why? Because I allow it. I deserve it. And as well as I become successful and get what I want in my life, all those around me will be happy and getting successful because they'll feel your joy, your love, and your compassion. That's what it's all about. So yeah, we can change the world. We can have a massive awakening where everybody's just like opening, and it's happening. And you probably hear all over TikTok and YouTube or whatever, if you're listening to this podcast and these types of things, is like, oh, we're all going to time shift, or we got to do this as a group and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is an amazing time. But it all comes down to you. What do you choose to believe? What do you choose to bring into your reality? Because in talking to my employees today, and in talking just in general and thinking about things, I mentioned this in one of my podcasts already, but I'll mention it again, how I was online playing, the online casino. And I was convinced, beyond a shadow of a doubt, 1,000% convinced that I've hacked, that I figured out how to hack, not like illegally hack, right? But, play a certain way on the roulette wheel that I'm guaranteed to win no matter what happens. I was so convinced. But the funny part is in the grand scheme of things, I made one mistake. And that mistake, I made two mistakes. Those two mistakes were, one, a mathematical problem. I forgot to carry the one type thing to realize what else. So the concept is, you have a roulette board, single zero or double zeros. I like to play single zeros in the high limit room. You cover half the board, right? So you got 65% chance in your favor. But if it doesn't hit, you double your whole bet. So if you're starting with $10 chips You got $110 out there. And then you double. And then if you don't hit, you double. But you have to have enough money to double like 7 times, right? But me thinking, I put 110, then I double, then it's 220, then I double, and it's 300. A simple mistake, right? Not realizing, no, when you double the original bet, it goes from 110 to 220 to 4 something, and so on and so forth. But you actually got to double it plus the original bet to actually guarantee no matter what you're going to hit. And you have to have enough money to carry you for 7 or more. I would say at least 10 times, right? But when it all adds up, you're betting by the fourth or fifth round, like $5,000-6,000. And I didn't realize that. So here's where the story goes. I was 1,000% convinced. I turned $1,000 into $10,000 in an hour. And then I was so convinced that I could do this every day. I'm not going to be greedy, just 5 days a week. I'm going to make $5,000 every week. And it was working. And then I was like, I'm going to tell my wife what I did. And then I felt like you shouldn't, because you'll realize your mistake. And I'm like, no, I got no mistake. I'm a genius. The universe is showing me the way, right? Anyway, so time goes on. I eventually tell my wife, hey, honey, look what I did. Do you want me to show you how? She's like, no, I don't really care. That's your thing, right? But please let me show you the math. And I show her the math, and reluctantly she looks. Then she sees my error. I'm thinking I'm playing with, a few $100 by the 5th spin. If I'm wrong, whatever, if I lose it, who cares? I still got enough money. Not realizing I'm practically betting the whole entire $10,000 that I just made. But not realizing it, right? And then, poof, she pointed it out. I realized, then doubt came in my heart. I'm like, I didn't hack this. I didn't. Then I started losing. And now here's the question people ask me when they hear this story. Why did you become a loser? I can't explain it. You've made this money. You have proof of it. But then you started losing, so you shut her down. And now that reality of you, seeing yourself, and that's all it is I literally saw myself, no matter what, winning. And I could do it, no matter what. And then in less than an hour, I can make $1,000, 20 minutes. Just go. The higher I start the bet, the faster I make the money, right? And I was so convinced that I visualized it. I felt that I understood it. And that's the law of attraction. You got to visualize, understand, act like you already have it. And I was like, I already got it all. But the moment I realized the truth and my mistake, it all came crashing down. So it comes down to, as people in religion will say, well, it comes down to faith, right? You had so much faith that you created what you wanted, your reality, right? And yeah, I had believed, I've had faith, I had whatever you want to call it, that, yeah, it was working, and no matter what, nobody could tell me otherwise, until my wife told me otherwise, and I realized it, and I was like, oh. And then I just brought in doubt. I didn't believe anymore. I didn't see, me making that $1,000 a day. It just all came crashing down. And then I started losing. So I was like, nope, shut that down. But it's weird, right? I can't explain it better than that. It's people perform miracles, like I mentioned before, right? There's a church in Quebec, Montreal, on Mount Royal. There's 100 stairs or 1,000 stairs or whatever it is to get up there. And it's a big Catholic cathedral. And people walked up there with crutches. People walked up there that couldn't walk. People walked up there blind. People walked up there, crippled, so on and so forth, and was healed. And still to this day is healed because of their belief, their faith. They believed no matter what, if they made it. And they were going to be healed if they made it to that room and poured their soul and heart out to God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, their higher self. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same thing. At least in my reality. But if you believe in God, good, that's your thing, right? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You live you. You live your life. You find out what works for you. That's the whole point of my podcast, is to find out what works for you and run with it and say, yes, hey, Mike at Life Changers, this is what works for me. This is what, my reality. And you run with it. And I've ran with my reality for years. And then, certain information's coming my way, certain things, and the universe is like, hey, this is where you got to move on next. And then I do. With new information comes new realities. But yes, it's hard to explain. But I've witnessed and seen people heal themselves according to their faith, or according to their beliefs, or according to whatever. That they healed themselves. I've seen it. I've witnessed miracles growing up. And people are like, see, that's proof of whatever, right? It's proof to me now that we've been living in a world, in a universe, that we can turn our beliefs into reality, our thoughts into reality. And that, if you want to say, is the big conspiracy theory that the world is trying to hide from you, that Hollywood's trying to hide from you, that the government or that the elites are trying to hide from you. They do not want you to know the power, the ability you have with your thoughts. And through meditation, and through opening up your third eye or your pineal gland or whatever your reality is. That is what they're trying to suppress on you. And that's what I see, because I'll let you in on a secret. Here's my secret, everybody. It's hard for me to explain. I mentioned it many times, inadvertently, not directly, but I'm just going to say it point blank. I see things before they happen. I understand things without even realizing it. And I know things without even realizing it. It's hard to explain. It's a gut feeling, right? That holy crap, right now this is what's going to happen. You get out of the way. The bus is going to have a flat tire and curve to the left and, hit you. So move. And, how did you know, right? Just one of those things that I had a gut feeling. I just know, right? And you got to understand, it's hard for me to explain, but in my mind, the way my active voice in my head, as I say, or whatever you want to call it, right, is really active. If I let him go crazy in there. I'm not saying, I got voices in my head, I'm going crazy. No, but we all have that little, when you're walking by somebody and you see something or you say something and it's kind of like, hey, just, or you're at a club, you're grooving, you meet somebody and you're like, hey, here's my number, call me. And they don't call you and you're like, hey, I guess we weren't grooving. Like with this person, blah, 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 and start making up this whole crazy story in your head. Yeah. That's your ego going crazy on you. Okay. It's not a bad thing. You got to learn to live with it, but learn and teach it to, hey, calm down, relax. Why are you always going negative? Because that's the programming. We're subconsciously programmed. I don't care if you don't believe me. Because when I sit back and watch this world, watch everything going around, it's really crazy and funny to me because you have two groups of people doing the exact same thing to each other if you think about it. So here we go. Let's say you have joined the pandemic. Or the plandemic, whatever you want to call it, right? That's your reality. But you have people on this side that's all pro-vaxxers. And they're saying, if you don't want to get vaxxed, it's your fault that I'm going to get sick and die. And it's you that's going to make this happen. And you're the asshole if you don't want to get vaxxed. We should force vax you, blah, blah, blah. Then you got the other people on the other side. Both extremes. Going, hey, you're the fault reason by you getting vaccinated. It hurts me and makes me sick and die. You're the reason why I'm going to die. We should get all these stupid people that want to get vaxxed and line them up and do whatever, right? They're both saying the same thing to each other. Why do we have to fight? Shut the fuck up. Live your life. Live your truth, your reality. Just if you don't agree with somebody else's reality, well, they shouldn't force it on you. You shouldn't force it on them. Just like in religion, when I was growing up and people were like, oh, that's the religion you're part of. Well, my religion is more right than yours. Or they're like, don't talk to me about your religion and your God. I don't care to hear it. I'm this or I'm that, or I know better than you. And I'm like, calm down. You asked me a question, you dumbass, and I'm just answering it. Once again, the victim mentality. You can tell I really hate those stupid victim mentalities and poor you, right? But it's funny to me because I like to analyze and see things. And people are saying the same thing. Don't take my rights away, right? But you should believe what I believe. And if you don't, you're stupid. And then the other person's like, don't take my rights away because you're trying to force me to do what you want to do. No, you should be forced to do what I want to do. Holy crap. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Till you can't breathe in no more. Let's a little extra. Hold it. Release all that negative energy. Release that poor me energy and that, everybody hates me. Everybody's against me. Fuck. Get over yourselves, people. I don't know you're thinking. Get over yourself, Mike. You think you're amazing? No. We're all a work in progress. But if you want to change the world, you got to start by changing you. And become the person you truly want to become. Become the God of your world. Become whatever it is. But why do we have to hate? It's fucking crazy to me. And I know it's very popular because I see it all the time on TikTok. You got these people saying, oh, look, these people hate me. And then you got the other groups, look at what these people are saying about us. They hate us. And everybody's just, hey, whatever. Because negativity and all this crap is what sells. What gets the clicks. Misinformation. This guy's stupid. He's lying. These 5-minute crafts, they're stupid. They're all pathetic. They get millions of views. They're making their money, I guess. But if you want the key to success, you want the key to eternal salvation, you want the key to being rich, you want the key to love, or to have that yacht you want, or to go on those trips, or do whatever you want, come to realize that your energy that you put out is what you attract. So if you put out negativity, that's what you get. If you put out poor, that's what you get. If you put out, wealth, if you put out the energy of money, if you put out the energy of love, that's what you will get. And it's hard, to go against your programming. It's not going to be easy. And there's a saying I used to hear a lot growing up from this one guy in my religion. Not my religion, but the religion I grew up in. And he said, I didn't say it would be easy, but I said it'll be worthwhile. And it's true. I didn't say it's going to be easy to change your whole programming, but it's worthwhile. Because when you know and see the potential that you have and you can become, and you can open your eyes. When I talk with people, they're just like, Mike, you're crazy, you're stupid, right? And I'm not going around telling people, I don't want people to, I'm not forcing nobody to believe me. I'm telling my stories, my experiences, and my truth that might help people figure out their truth, their reality, and their experience, and figure out how they can hack the matrix or their universe or their reality and make it for them, make all their wildest dreams come true. Because it's going to be different for everybody. But the bottom line is, what are you going to believe in? You going to believe there's nothing you can do about nothing? Or are you going to believe that, yes, in this world, I could turn thought into reality. I could turn thought into matter. And it happens every day. Stop going down the rabbit holes. Stop scrolling. I have to work on that. I see the programming and I can see that I'm there scrolling. I do not understand how, if I'm not busy doing something, how I cannot just be and meditate. It's impossible. It's hard for me. And by me saying that, I'm making it even harder. It's catch-22, everybody. But now that I realize it, I'm going to make it easier for me. And you're probably thinking, well, if I try to meditate, I fall asleep. Well, don't do it when you're lying down in bed, because that's the position you program yourself to fall asleep. right? Do some guided meditations if you need to. I recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza has a lot of them, but you can type in any guided meditation. You could look up any guided meditation on YouTube that just you feel like, yeah, this will work. You can look up any hypnotisms. I don't know, whatever you call it. But there's some people out there that are like, hey, I could hypnotize you while you sleep, to accept wealth and to release all the negativity you have on money and wealth and so on and so forth. And it's like, yeah, if that works, do it. Wouldn't you do it? You would say, oh, well, if you told me how to make $1 million, I would do it. I've seen over and over people saying, this is how you can make money. This is how. And people are like, and I could sit there and lay it out, right? Tell you exactly how I make my money. But it probably will not work for you because you're going to be like, oh, and then you're going to have some doubt, then you have some negativity and so on and so forth. It's crazy to me. Like, I was talking to somebody and they're telling me, so Mike, you're saying that, people choose to be sick, like, because, I was saying like how powerful your mind is in a conversation. And I'm like, if you are sick, you can, with your mind, tell yourself, I am not sick, and heal yourself. And I was trying to explain the power of the mind. And then someone's like, I interject, you're saying people are sick because they choose to be sick? But there's people that have faith in religion beyond imagination that they can be healed, but yet they're not. Why are they afflicted with this pain? And I just sat there thinking, just feeling like the energy and the question. And what I came to the conclusion of is, yeah, subconsciously, there's a reason why they do not want to be healed. It's either they don't have faith enough. But if you're saying they have faith that they can be healed beyond a shadow of a doubt, I came to the conclusion, just my opinion, that they probably in their heart believe, hey, you know what? I could, I'll just get over this and, be sick for a little bit and get over it. I'm not going to waste God's time to tell God to heal me when there's some people that are worse off than me that can use God's blessing. So I'm not going to use up one of those blessings on me when God, can help other people. I'm not. So there's people, and I've met people like that are so selfless, right? So selfless that subconsciously that makes sense to them, that there's that not doubt that they can be healed by their faith or by, God or by, the universe or whatever you want to call it. It's that, hey, there's people out there that need it more than me. Let them have it. And you're thinking, yeah, you're crazy, Mike. There's nobody like that. I've met tons of people like that. And if you think there's not people like that, well, maybe you should try to be people like that. Because I've met so many people that are like, hey, you probably need it more than me. Here you go. And they have less than me. Trying to pay it forward or whatever. And I could see. And the energy I feel is like, you know what? Here, no, you can use it. I see that. Like, here, take some of my money. And sometimes when I do very well in the casinos and I'm blessed, or, the universe is like, here you go. And I was doing everything right. And I made some good money in the casinos. What I like to do afterwards is go to grocery stores or go to restaurants and, just find the people that, can afford it, but can't afford it at the same time. Like, there's people that like, well, I would buy all this food, but, it's really tight. And I'll be like, I'll just pay for everything. And not, just let me pay for it. And I don't do it because I want, oh, you're an amazing person. What's your name? Thank you. And give me a hug, or tell me I'm going to tell everybody how cool you are. Or, sometimes, yeah, sometimes I pay people's meals and be like, here, at the restaurant, hey, pay for that family's meals. And it seems like, they could enjoy saving that money or whatever. Then I'm like, give them a Life Changers card, right? And if you're one of those people and you are listening to this podcast, I love you and appreciate you. And I was, I felt like, oh, it's doing a good deed, right? But then I felt kind of like, oh, well, I'm giving with a condition. So I don't do that anymore. I just give because I want to give. And it really, truly makes me happy to see people who are like, wow, you're cool. And you know how many people are like, no, 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 no. And the moment I tell them, don't worry about it, I made some good money at the casino today, people are more than happy to take it after that. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's awesome. It was funny because like the other day I was at the casino and I was playing and this lady's like, just, put in some money and kept on losing. And I said, you know what the funny part is? And she goes, what? And we're just having a little conversation because I like having fun, talking to people. That's my thing, I guess. And I was like, you know what the funny part is? And she was like getting ready to leave. She's like, what? I said, here's $20. Make it $40. Put it in the machine. And I guarantee you that since it's not your money, you don't care about it. You don't care if you're going to lose. You're going to turn this into 100, 150, no problem. She's like, oh, I've been losing all day, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's funny, but you're trying to win. But I'm going to give you this money. And she's like, you sure? I said, don't worry about it. I just made X amount of money on that slot machine back there. And they're like, oh, well, okay, I'll take your money. And, I put it in the machine for her. I said, now watch, you're going to make some money. And then she started like, making money because she's not caring, right? And I did all right on the machine. I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave. She's like, no, sir. And I'm like, no, I don't want the money back. She's like, but all this money is not mine. It's yours because this is your money. So I turned it into 150. You want me to print the ticket and give it to me? Give it to you. I said, no, you could print the ticket and just keep the money. Because if you could realize that when you stop chasing, everything comes to you, how much fun you'll have at the casino and in life in general. Because I can't say it enough. Stop chasing what you want. Allow it to come to you. Put that out there. Put it as, hey, I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is what I'm going to make happen. And I see all these amazing TikToks and all these amazing, YouTube shorts or Facebook shorts or whatever, and even YouTube, where people are like, hey, if this finds you, you're going to be a millionaire in your family and blah, blah, blah. And if you just scroll through, it's going to do nothing for you. But if you truly believe what they're saying is a message for you and it resonates with you, and there's a lot of people that hear this, and you can see in the comments, they're like, hey, you were right. A gift did come. I got this happened. I landed this job. I got this amazing pay raise. This happened. Because they truly believed. And that's all you have to do is stop chasing and truly believe what you deserve and what you want is coming. And you already have it. You just got to accept it. Bring it into your life. Bring it into your reality. Accept it with gratitude and love. And stop chasing. And then you will win. If you are listening to me and you're like, oh, you're crazy, Mike, whatever. I always go to the casino and lose, blah, blah, blah. Well, it doesn't matter what I say, because in the end, it's your belief system and your reality. And if you're like, it's not true, and you're not going to do nothing about it, you're not going to test it, you're not going to play with what I say and be like, you know what, fine, I'll test it. I'll make up my own thing to try. I believe this is going to happen. Try it. What do you have to lose? Manifest something small. Like in that book I keep on talking about. That's an amazing book. Where it's called The Science of Getting Rich. And you should read the original version, not the updated version. I didn't read the updated one yet, but maybe the updated one will work for you. I don't know. But he says how this person in the book says, okay, I'll try. And he manifested it like, oh, I want a nice rug in my house. And then before you know it, he's like, oh, I could manifest anything I want. And he ended up manifesting enough money that he could buy the house he lived in, that he could design it the way he wanted and do whatever he wanted. Test it. But you have to believe. You have to have a fine balance of, not chasing, but accepting the reality, putting in the universe that you have what you have, but not acting like a pompous douchebag. And they're like, oh, I'm amazing. I'm the best at the casino. I'm going to come in here and win 50 grand. I literally saw a guy once walk in and go, hey, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do a spin on Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to win $500. And I'm going to spin it 3 more times, and I'm going to win the $5,000. And he was so convinced, and he spun it, hit the, they got the Wheel of Fortune feature, $500. 3 more spins, boom, he got the feature again, 5 grand. He's like, okay, thank you, bye. I seen it with my own eyes, that this guy truly believes that he was going to do that. It's just like I truly believe when I go to a casino, I don't go as a loser, I go as a winner. I'm here to pick up whatever the universe wants to give me. And unless I'm trying to show off, or unless I become a pompous asshole, or unless I become greedy or whatever, or have hate, or be like, oh, why are they winning, not me? I deserve more money than these people. Who am I to say that? Right? I don't know their situation. Well, I'm going to do so much good with the money if I get it. I'm not going to put it back in the casino like they will. Stop judging. That they're living their best reality, their best self. You should live yours. And, I do that often, and I'm like, oh, stop that. Like, I see the negativity coming in. I see the pre-programming that we're being programmed to be like, where in Canada, you're programmed to stay home. Don't go out. Oh, it's a scary world out there. Oh, look at all these misinformation online. And, oh, look, you're not getting the full truth and all this stuff here in Canada because, that's the way it is. They're showing us what they want us to see, right? There's all these things out there. Oh, just don't fall for the traps. Live your best life. Live you. Do what you want to do. Travel if you want to travel. I travel. I go to the U.S. I go to Florida. I've been to Cuba. I've been to the Dominican. I've been to Europe. All this stuff. Just do you and have fun. And trust your higher self. Trust your gut. Trust your God. Trust you. And if you feel like, hey, I need to do this, do it. Only good things will come. If you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go do that, then don't do it. Because it's only helping you, preventing things, and guiding you. Because if, you're believing God or whatever, that's your thing, cool. God just wants you to be happy. If you believe in your higher self, like, oh, I believe in my higher self, with the universe just wants you to be happy. So just be happy. Trust God, trust your higher self, trust whatever you believe in is there to keep you safe, there to give you what you deserve, what you want. Just receive it. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate everybody. I hope this wasn't just a rant. But I just want everybody to understand how amazing life is and how you control your world, and you can literally manifest just by thought, bring things into reality. Just by thought, people write songs. Just by thought, people make computers. People made these phones. People made everything. The microphone I'm talking into all started with thought, and then it was brought into reality. So create your reality, bring it into reality. Change your belief systems. Are you going to run programs that you're told? You're going to be, part of the problem with everybody hating everybody? You can start loving one another. Everybody deserves to be loved. And a little correction on my last podcast, I was talking about the TLS, and I was calling them the total light system. Apparently it's just the light system. If you guys are listening, you should change it to the total light system. Total light system, TLS, instead of just the light system. Just sounds better, sounds cooler. Just a thought. Anyways, you guys have an amazing day. Just know that you're amazing, that you can do anything you want. Let's break the matrix. Let's break our reality. Let's co-create love, compassion, and peace. And everybody can be wealthy. I know it. Which reality are you going to jump into? Think about it. We'll talk about it next. You guys have a great time and listen for the next episode. I love you guys. Peace.